So welcome to this webinar. My name is David Owasi, and I will be looking forward to sharing all of these things with you. So if two companies have the same leads and they spend the same money on marketing and one gets double the job, how is that possible? And that's what we're going to be talking about. So what top home services companies are doing differently and how you can build the same system in your business. Okay, so two painting companies in the same city, and they are offering the same prices. They have similar type of crew in terms of quality of the work they're doing, and they even have the same marketing budget. And some weeks they even get the exact same owner as a lead. Why would one painting company or roofing company close three times more than the other? So company A closes at 35%, company B closes at 12%. And this is something that we've seen. How is that possible? And they have the same type of leads. And why do they have this different closing ratio? So that is a problem that puzzled me a lot. I was very curious. How is that even possible? And the question is not who bought better leads. The question really is why. So by the end of this presentation, you will know a couple of things. First is you will know why some contractors convert at three times more, even based on the exact same lead. And you also know why your close rate probably is not a sales problem. And you also understand whether fixing it would make financial sense for your business. And I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm actually going to show you the proof of all of those things. So now I'm going to answer some of the obvious questions first. If we're fit to work together, we build our system for you, and it costs anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000 per month. That's a typical investment plus a one-time setup fee, depending on complexity. And generally, in 1 to 2 jobs, you will get your ROI back for most companies. That's what we're seeing. And typically, it takes us about 1 to 2 weeks to go live with this system from start to finish. And it takes about 2 hours of the time for you or your team to get some time with us so we can get everything set up for you. So I just want to get you all that information. I'm sure you're very probably thinking about that already. And there's no long implementation, no new software projects, there's no new hires. We move very fast and everything gets done quickly, efficiently, and properly. So here's the experience if you choose to work with us. It takes 6 steps with 2 hours of your time. The first one is book a strategy session for 20 minutes where we get to understand your business, where you're getting your leads from, and find where things are falling through the cracks. And we then have those 2 working sessions where we get to understand your business and we get to do all the integration and implementation and make sure you sign up on everything. And then we build everything for you. You don't have to do anything in that scenario. There's a final review where you give us the green lights to proceed with the agent and the technology. And then we go live and you start getting the appointments showing up on the calendar of your sales team to start closing deals, and that happens ongoing. So this is the entire implementation, again, if it makes sense to work with us. Okay, so why should you be even listening to me at all? Well, I built this solution because I needed it for myself. And this is a solution that was seen generating 81% revenue lift for Atlanta Painting Company with the same marketing spend. So they spend the same amount of money and they got 81% more revenue as well. So I ran a college pro painting franchise for 5 years. So I really was on the jobs, on the ladder. I was doing everything that you are doing. I've been in your shoes, and I grew it past 7 figures. So, I had multiple crew. I had all the same pressure you're dealing with. And also I'm a software engineer as well. So I have that unique technical background as well as on the jobs background. And for me, what we've done at Outreach Genius is building the system and the solution that I wish I had when I was running my campaign. And I channeled all of the problems that I faced and the frustration into the solution that I'm sharing with you today. So here's a case study. Atlanta Painting Company, again, they generated at over 81%, over 80% lift in revenue from the same Angi spend in 60 days. And here is, the CEO talking about the experience, just so you can understand that these are real companies with real case studies.
So for us, every time we can set up an estimate, it's basically $2,700 of revenue. Year to date, year over year with Angie's List, our slippage is down 30% compared to where it was. So last year, if we got 2 leads that came through the door, we would be able to set up 1 of them. This year, if we get 10 leads, instead of setting up 5, we're setting up 7. Like our ADL for Angie's List last year was $1,200, and I think it's $1,940 this year.
So that's just a case study showing what it does look like for the customer using our solution. So here's a mistake almost everyone makes with their marketing investment, whether it's Angie's, Thumbtack, whether it's Google Ads, Facebook Ads, etc. They think that they're actually buying leads, but that's not actually what you're buying. That's what you get. What you're actually entering is you're entering a rate, and I'll explain. So let's talk about the homeowner journey, the person who is going to be buying and purchasing your services. Watch where the decision actually gets made. So they need a painter or a roofing company or a whatever home service they need, right? They need that service. Well, they go online or they go to third-party providers like Angi, and they're searching for contractors and companies companies like yours that will offer them that service. And then typically they will request quotes from 3 to 4 contractors, hoping that at least 1 or 2 of those contractors will get back to them on time. And the first meaningful conversation is usually what leads to the real decision. So whoever gets here first and have that first meaningful conversation with them typically actually wins the job. It's kind of funny how that works. And that then leads to an estimate, and then they become a customer. So that is really the homeowner journey that we've seen over and over again. And the winner of this race is usually decided even before the estimate happens, is decided when that lead comes through the pipeline. And most of the times, homeowners find themselves waiting and they're frustrated. And this is where companies usually win or they lose the deal. And the idea here is that speed wins, not because customers necessarily love speed, but because customers, they really hate waiting. So here's an example of a realistic Saturday night. The office is closed and the race has already started. I mean, a lead comes through from Angi and it comes in, late on Saturday night. It's a full exterior repaint. The estimated value is about $6,250. And that same lead is also sent to 3 other companies, or that customer is also contacting 3 other companies to find out who is going to get back to them first. Meanwhile, at 6:44 p.m., your competitor is already calling that homeowner. Maybe they have some sort of service or someone is working at that point in time, or they're just on top of things. They're calling the homeowner. And by Monday at 8:15 a.m., when you and your team, you're ready to start calling leads from the weekend, you've already lost that contract. 2 minutes was what it takes to decide a $6,250 job. Isn't that incredible? But when you think about it from the perspective of the customer, you start to understand that you don't have that much time to convert those opportunities into revenue. And the person who's able to get in touch with them first tends to be the person who gets the job. So you did not necessarily lose to a better company. You just lost to a faster one. And every lead, and this is a big, massive idea I want you to really understand, every lead is actually bought twice. The first time is when you're paying the lead provider, so Angi, Thumbtack, whoever it is sending you that lead. The second time is paid with speed. And so the first purchase, you're already making this one. So you're spending with Angi, Google, Facebook, Thumbtack, whatever it is you're spending to generate that opportunity, and you're invoicing and budgeting and tracking this every month as you should. And that is very good. And the thing though is that just buys you the right to compete and nothing more. It doesn't guarantee the job. It doesn't guarantee your ROI in that marketing investment. And this first purchase is obvious because everyone in this room is already making that purchase. So that there's nothing new about that. But the second purchase is what a lot of people are really not thinking about. And this is the one that nobody makes and no one is really talking about that. And no invoice ever arrives for that purchase. Nothing in your budget is accounting for this purchase. And it actually is what decides who actually wins the job. So most companies are never paying for it, and you pay for it in speed and in persistence. The first person who's able to get in touch with that customer and who is able to nurture and keep following up if that customer doesn't pick up the first time you reach out to them. And this is where a lot of opportunity is slipping through the cracks and you're losing jobs to your competitors. So the companies winning today, as we've seen, they didn't buy better leads. They're still buying from the same sources. All they just do is build better systems. And the idea is that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And if you have a better system, you're always going to outperform the competitors. And if the competitor has a better system, they're just going to outperform you on average. So what does a winning system actually look like? Well, it's one brain with 5 channels, and every lead, every location you're running, every single day, the performance is consistent and the same. So the idea here is that there's one conversation coordinated across multiple channels, across voice, across SMS, all powered by AI, across email, across voicemail, and across direct mail, all powered by one AI brain having multiple coordinated conversation. It's not 5 separate tools, but one brain running every single conversation. Now, why is this different? You've probably tried a lot of things to solve this problem, which is why you're probably here, because this is a problem that you're experiencing. Maybe you've tried an answering service or a call center. Maybe you've tried another hiring a front staff desk person, or hiring a part-time virtual assistant, a VA, or maybe you even have some sort of automation tool you're using, a website chatbot or something like that. The problem is that it doesn't take messages. It doesn't take messages, it wins customers. So the revenue recovery system is not just something that takes messages, it actually wins you customers. All those solutions that you've been trying before, they're not really winning you customers. They do a few tasks here and there, but they're not really getting you the thing that you want. The revenue recovery system, which is our system at Outreach Engineers, responds, follow-ups, and books across every channel every single day, so you can get the return on your marketing investment. So it's not all about AI. AI isn't the breakthrough here. The system behind it is what is the real point here. So in the early 1800s, when electricity just became a new technology, factories did not become productive because they got electricity. The technology itself was not what got them the breakthrough. They become productive because they reorganized their whole business around this new technology. AI is here and AI is here to stay. But AI is really not the star. The systems that we build with AI at its core is really what makes the breakthrough here. So imagine on a Sunday night, in 41 seconds, a lead comes in to your business, and the customer is already scheduling and talking to your representative of your business, an AI agent, on the phone in 41 seconds from when they actually express interest. Imagine that. That is exactly what this is. Before your competitor even picked up the phone on a Monday morning, before they're following up, you are already scheduled the estimates, ready to go close that deal. So you're probably wondering, does this actually work? And it does work. We are running this today across several franchise brands and companies, home services businesses in North America. Here's some examples: Atlanta Painting, which you saw and heard from the CEO with the case study there; Lifestyle Pool Fence, which is a franchise brand in the pool fence space. We've got Albright Painting from California. We've got Arizona Painting from Arizona. We've got Cerebral Painters, which hundreds of franchise locations across North America. Actually, the biggest painting franchise company in North America. We are partners with them, and our solution, our technology, is working in all of these companies and more, with different trades, different markets, but the same system is what runs everything in the background. So the same operating system, but very different companies. So for this is Atlanta Painting, they were able to see an 81% increase in revenue in 60 days. And this is Lifestyle Pool Fence. We were able to generate in the last couple of months for them 425 appointments and generated over $1 million in pipeline and hundreds of thousands of dollars in actually closed jobs. Different businesses, same system. So what else actually changes for you when you start working with us? Well, instead of you having to follow up with people over the weekend or your team having to stay on top of that, instead of having an overflowing inbox when you come in on a Monday morning, where instead of wondering whether your Angi, your Thumbtack, your Google Ads, your Facebook campaigns are working and you're getting the right return on your investment, instead, you're getting appointments booked. All you're focusing on staying on top of this. Am I showing up to the appointment? Am I closing them? Your team is selling, not chasing, and the system is following up, backing you up, always, never dropping the ball. And that is the power of this system. So we're not selling AI. That's not what we do at Outreach Genius. What we're selling really is a calm Monday morning for you, where you can go into your Monday morning knowing that everything has been taken care of over the weekend and everything during the week will be taken care of. And if you increase your marketing budget and you get more leads in, you're going to have the same level and consistency of follow-up, outreach, and booking appointments for your team to go close and generate the cash. So here's exactly what happens next from first call to book appointments. You book a strategy session with us, and in that strategy session, all we're trying to figure out is, does it even make sense for us to consider working together? Do you have enough opportunities? Does it make sense for us to be aligned together? And then the second thing is, once we choose to work together, we have 2 working sessions, 2 hours in total, where we try to understand the way you do things in your business, your current systems, your CRM, who is going to be taking the calls, how you want the agent to sound, all of that fun stuff. And then we actually go and implement, and then you give us a sign-off to go live. And then we build everything for you. You don't have to do any of that stuff. And we go live in about 1 to 2 weeks, and appointments start appearing, and that is ongoing. And so this is not months of implementation. This is really, really fast implementation in 1 to 2 weeks, and we're live. So that is the revenue recovery strategy session that I invite you to. And if we don't think that we will create the ROI for you, we'll tell you it takes about 20 minutes of conversation to understand if it makes sense to work together. And what we review together is your lead flow. What platforms are you using to generate leads? And frankly, if you don't have a lead flow from a paid source, this is not really a fit. What we're looking for is individuals who are already getting leads flowing into their business. We also will look at your current response. Are you using an answering service? What are the gaps? Do you want us to start out evenings and weekends while other strategy works? Like, we are looking to plug in the gaps where you are, where your revenue is leaking. We want to plug in those gaps and see if there is even a fit at all. So this is what happens in the 2 working session. In the first working session, you teach us how you would typically answer the phone, how your business is currently doing that right now. We'll also give you like a benchmark on how that looks like compared to other leading companies that we work with. We'll also understand your scheduling rules. We'll understand your CRM and your lead sources, your brand voice. That's what happens in working session 1. In working session 2, we'll review exactly what we've built for you, which is the agent. We'll test it. We'll get your approval. And once we get the approval from you, we go live. And that is the whole implementation from your side. And it's live in 2 weeks. So we build, we integrate, we test, we monitor, you sell, and that's pretty much it. So the investment is typically anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000 per month with the one-time setup fee. And the one-time setup fee depends on all this pricing, depends on the lead volume. Obviously someone who's getting 100 leads a month is going to be different from someone who's getting 1,000 leads a month or even more. And we've seen some of those. It also depends on the number of locations that you have, the integration requirements, and the workflow complexity. Sometimes we have to build new workflows because you use a system that maybe doesn't talk to other systems. So there's a whole bunch of consideration, but the typical investment range goes from $1,000 to $3,000 a month, and we're always very upfront and transparent about that. And usually what we find is that for most home services companies that we work with, painting, roofing, flooring, windows and doors, usually in 1 to 2 jobs, they typically are already seeing their ROI. So our system will generate them more than 2 or 3 or 4 jobs in addition every month, and the service pays for itself, which is why it's a no-brainer investment for most companies. So think about your average job value. That's usually not a very hard calculation, and that's how you can determine if this actually makes sense for you. So our promise is that if the system doesn't generate at least your investment back, we keep working at our expense until it does. So we guarantee you that you're going to, at minimum, get your ROI back. But our goal is to be way more than that, obviously. So we don't win unless we win. A contractor doesn't leave the kitchen half finished, neither do we. We are true to our words. So home services companies that are already generating demand. So we've got painting companies, roofing companies, flooring, windows, sidings, renovations, garage doors. And generally, for you to be a fit for us, you have to be a home services company. That's what we focus and specialize on. And you have to be spending at least $2,000 per month in generating leads from any of the, the lead sources. That is what we determine as a fit for us. So if you're generating enough opportunities, the economics just get compelling really, really fast. And it just makes sense. So you've already paid for the introduction. We want to make sure that you're getting a customer and you are the one getting in front of the customer first. And we're going to build you the system that wins that second purchase that I talked about. You can scan this QR code or somewhere you can go to somewhere on the screen. You'll be able to see the link to schedule a revenue recovery strategy session where we understand how we can be of help. So you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems, and I'm sure that you are really, really interested in growing your business, and we are here to have the system that helps you do that. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for showing up, and if it's something that will make sense for you, please book a call. We'd love to see you.